Hello, everyone. I hope you had a great new year. I hope you enjoyed your time with your family and that you're still enjoying it right now. As I promised on my Instagram story, I'm making this video today. This video is going to be divided into two parts. The first part will be about futures, and the second part will be about Forex. Both videos will be uploaded either today or tomorrow, one today and one tomorrow. The reason I'm making two separate videos is because I want to cater to two different types of audiences. If you trade futures, this video is for you. If you trade forex, the other video will be for you. And if you trade both, you can watch both videos. Another important reason is that I don't want to make a single video that's 1 hour long. Even after splitting it into two parts, the videos will still be long. But this is something I wanted to avoid. So, with that said, this video is going to be about futures prop firms. Before we start, I want to lay down a few things. The way I'm ranking these firms is based entirely on payout speed, payout caps, customer support, support resolution speed, challenge types, and overall rules. Before continuing any further, I want to clearly state that everything I say from this point onward is strictly my personal opinion, based entirely on my own experience trading with these firms. Everyone has different experiences, and this video does not represent how others may perceive these firms. Now let's start with the ranking. The first futures prop firm I'm going to talk about is Funded Next Futures. I would rank Funded Next Futures at tier 8. Funded Next has already established itself as a very strong firm in the forex space. However, in the future space, it hasn't yet entered the big 3 or big 5 firms, but it's definitely on its way. I've personally traded with this platform and have received around 4 to 5 payouts from them. Overall, it's a solid platform. The payout cap is good, the rules aren't too harsh, and they offer multiple challenge types to cater to different traders. Not every firm suits everyone, so having options matters, and Funded Next does this quite well. Because of their strong backing and credibility in the CFD space, this is a firm that's definitely worth trying. The next firm is 3D, and this one is easily S tier. If you've traded with this firm even once, you'll understand exactly what I mean. In my opinion, this firm is the GOAT of the futures prop firm space. I've been trading with them for a long time, and to date, I've withdrawn around $196,000 from this platform. I don't remember the exact number, but it's around that range. Never, not even once, have I faced an issue with payouts. Payouts are always on time and often even before time. The average payout time is around 1 hour. The process is extremely smooth. You request a payout, it gets approved within minutes, and shortly after that, the funds hit your crypto wallet. It honestly feels effortless. This is easily one of the best futures prop firms available, and personally, it's my favorite. It might even be my favorite firm across both CFD and futures. The next firm is Topstep, and for me, Topstep sits at A tier. Many people might disagree with this ranking because Topstep is one of the biggest and oldest futures firms in the industry. The fact that they've survived for so long speaks volumes about their reliability. They've recently introduced new challenge types and removed activation fees on certain accounts, which is a good improvement. Topstep is a very basic firm, but that's also its strength. You will get paid no matter what. Even if you make a very large amount of money, payouts are reliable. The downside is the $5,000 payout cap on express accounts. While it eventually gets removed, it's still a limitation. I am currently funded with Topstep and hold multiple accounts, and payouts are consistent. Earlier, payouts used to take 1 to 3 hours. Now it can take around 7 to 8 hours, but I still get paid every time. With Topstep, I never worry about whether I'll get paid or not, and that peace of mind is why it's A tier for me. Now comes a firm that may shock many people, and that firm is Funding Ticks. I've made a video about this firm before, but my opinion has changed significantly since then. Earlier, this firm was actually good and I would have ranked it much higher. However, my recent experience has been very bad. They introduced an HFT rule and applied it randomly. My HFT percentage suddenly jumped from around 45 to 50% to over 100%, even though my trading behavior didn't change. I made around 13 to $15,000 in profit on a single account, followed all consistency rules, and still lost the account due to this sudden rule enforcement. Because of this, I've completely stopped buying accounts from funding ticks. Many experienced traders I know also consider this firm sketchy now. To add more clarity on why this situation escalated, the core issue wasn't the introduction of new rules themselves, because any prop firm has the right to update or improve its rules on its own platform. The real issue was how those changes were applied. Funding ticks introduced a 1 minute minimum trade duration rule, meaning trades had to be held for at least 1 minute to be considered valid. Shorter trades, which are very common in scalping or high frequency strategies, were suddenly disqualified, and profits from those trades were removed even if they were executed before the rule existed. Along with this, there were other adjustments such as higher daily profit targets, an increase in the number of profitable days required, a reduced profit split, and capped or reduced withdrawals. The problem was that all of these changes were applied retroactively to existing accounts that had already agreed to older terms. As a result, many traders who had already passed challenges or reached funded status saw previously valid profits reduced or erased, and in some cases, payouts were delayed or denied. This naturally caused backlash within the trading community. Personally, this was disappointing for me because I genuinely expected a lot from this prop firm. It had strong potential, it was performing well, and everything seemed to be moving in the right direction. I don't believe there's anything wrong with evolving rules, but transparency and fairness matter, especially when traders have already built strategies around the original terms. Applying new rules to existing users is what changed the entire experience for many people, including myself. Interestingly, their CFD counterpart is still one of my favorite firms, but in the future space, funding ticks is not recommended anymore. Next is Lucid Trading, and this firm is S tier without any doubt. Their payout speed is unbelievable. Sometimes payouts hit within 1 to 2 minutes, and the average payout time is around 15 minutes. They cater to different trader types, offer flexibility, and have competitive pricing. I've withdrawn around $30,000 from them recently, and everything worked perfectly. This is a very strong firm and one I highly recommend. Another S tier firm for me is My Funded Futures. This is one of my favorite futures firms. I've been trading with them for about 8 months now, and I've withdrawn over $150,000 so far. Payouts are consistent, rules are fair, and they cater to different types of traders. Prices are slightly on the higher side, but still reasonable. The rules may feel a bit complex initially, but they are manageable, and once you understand them, everything works smoothly. This is a firm I fully recommend. Alpha Futures also deserves S tier without any doubt. I mainly use their zero drawdown accounts, especially for news trading, because the structure of those accounts makes it much easier to trade high impact events without unnecessary restrictions. The payout times on Alpha Futures average around 5 hours, and in many cases, they are even faster, which is more than acceptable in the futures prop space. Discounts are offered very frequently, pricing is competitive compared to most firms at this level, and the overall reliability of the platform has been solid for me so far. I've never had any major issues with payouts, rule enforcement, or account management, and everything works the way it's supposed to. Because of my consistent experience with them and the number of payouts I've taken, Alpha Futures is currently my second best futures prop firm. Another very important reason Alpha Futures deserves S tier is their customer support, which is honestly one of the best and fastest I've experienced in the futures prop space. These guys are extremely helpful. When I first took a payout, I had an issue related to multiple accounts, the Rise platform, and KYC verification. The mistake was actually from my side, not theirs, but when I reached out to their support team, they handled the situation professionally and solved the entire issue within 2 to 3 hours. Everything was cleared, verified, and fixed the same day. That experience made it very clear to me that for a prop firm to be truly successful, it needs two strong pillars. The first pillar is the prop firm structure itself, and the second, equally important pillar, is customer support. Alpha Futures has both of these pillars perfectly aligned, which is why it carries so much credibility for me. On the other hand, Funding Ticks was the complete opposite experience. Their support straight up denied that anything had changed and didn't inform me about any rule updates. I was unable to find out about the rule change even after repeatedly asking them. I only became aware of it later while scrolling through TikTok, where other traders were discussing the issue. After that, I contacted a few of my friends in the future space, and that's when they explained the full situation to me. Funding Ticks had quietly changed the rule, made a post about it, and removed multiple traders, which is why many people now consider that firm sketchy. What made the situation worse was that when I specifically asked Funding Ticks why my HFT score suddenly jumped so drastically, they simply told me that everything was fine and that nothing had changed. In reality, there was a rule change, and at the very least, they should have informed me that the rule had been updated and that it was being applied to all accounts. Even if the rule was valid, transparency was missing, and that lack of communication is unacceptable. That's the real difference between a prop firm with strong, reliable support and one that doesn't even clearly explain its own rules when asked. When it comes to Apex, my initial instinct was actually to place it at C tier, mainly because of the payout inconsistency and the uncertainty that sometimes comes with the platform. At times, it really does feel like payouts depend on luck, which isn't something traders want to deal with. However, after looking at the full picture and my personal history with Apex, I decided to move it up to B tier instead. Apex is one of the oldest firms in the future space. It has paid out hundreds of millions of dollars to traders, and I've personally withdrawn between 190 and $220,000 from them. The accounts are extremely cheap. You can stack multiple accounts, and the rules themselves aren't overly complicated. While I still wouldn't recommend Apex as a first choice for beginners due to the payout uncertainty, I can't ignore the fact that the firm has paid me well overall and that the risk to reward has been worth it for experienced traders. That balance between inconsistency and proven payouts is exactly why Apex ultimately sits at B tier rather than C tier for me. This ranking is based entirely on my personal experience with futures prop firms. These are the firms I've personally traded with, and I only give opinions on platforms I've actually used. If you enjoyed this video, leave a comment with your thoughts. If you want a dedicated video on any single firm, comment the firm name and I'll make one. The next video will be about Forex. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.